after you've had a baby, people just think that they have the right to comment on your body. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. I think about him all the time. I even had sex dreams about him. A Cockney guy drove past in a white van earlier. Did you see him?
No.
And he was like, do you need any mattresses? Yeah, he was just driving by in his white van. And he was like, do you need any mattresses? And I was like, no, don't want to buy a mattress off you. Literally, yeah, just in a white van. I thought, I'm getting kidnapped here. I'm sick. Don't know if you can tell. I'm doing for a wee, but one of the cameras isn't on autofocus, and I think that means I can't really move. But I am I'm going to wee my pants if I'm not careful. If you see me clutching at my fanny, just know I'm trying my best not to wee. Although I am on my period, so if I do wee, I'm going to wee into a sanitary towel, so it's actually fine. Welcome back to the Nappy Hour, guys, the place where you tell me all about your fucked up lives and I tell everyone, just like real friends. So open your ears and let me fill them full of shit. Advice. Sorry, that was a bit of a hectic start, wasn't it? Yeah, as you can tell, I am sick, but I'm at that stage in my sickness where it's like kind of sexy. You know, it's like the sinuses have cleared mostly, and now I'm just left with this raspy voice that says, fuck me. I've shaved my legs as well, which that isn't the reason that I'm not wearing socks. For any visual listeners, for anyone that's watching the visuals, you'll see that I've got my ankles out and I'm feeling very exposed. That wasn't the reason I've left my ankles out, just to show off my shaved legs. But it is nice to be able to touch. You know when you shaved a part of your body and you just keep touching it? I was doing that to my arsehole. I was watching TV. We had a mate round and we were all sat on the sofa and I realised I'm just playing with my asshole right now. But it was so smooth, so luxurious. I couldn't stop. Right, should we get on with the podcast? I bought a ring and I need to address it now because I know, again, anyone that's watching, you're going to pick up on this ring. Now, when I saw it in the shop, I was bedazzled. I was bedazzled by the ring, right? You know when it's like cheerleader effect when you're shopping for rings, isn't it? Like when they're all lined up together, they look amazing. They just look so shiny and beautiful, like a treasure trove. But then you take them home and it's just like the single ring. It doesn't look so cute anymore. Well, I saw this ring and I thought, I've never had a red ring before. That red ring looks really good with my red French mani. But now that it's on, I keep glancing at it. I'm like, it looks like a Godfather ring, you know? It looks like a cheap bit of tacky, like a joke ring. It's like a dress-up ring that if I was dressing up as a pirate, I would wear this ring. It's like if Woody was to get like a pirate dress-up set off Amazon, this ring would be included in that pirate set. I kind of love it and I kind of hate it, but just don't look at it too much, okay? Don't look too close. It was £2.50. Anyway, let's get on with the podcast. Oh my God, no. Before we go on with the podcast, I am involved in a criminal investigation, guys. Well, not quite, but kind of. So let me fill you in on the details. I was walking home from the gym, just minding my own beeswax. I was walking home and as I get to my driveway, I see a girl. She's crouching on the floor across the road from me, up against the wall, and she's crying. And listen, I have a saviour complex, okay? I'm across that road, I'm straight over. Are you okay? Do you need some help? She's like, honestly, I'm fine. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, let's talk. Are you all right? I said, what's your name? I said, how old are you? She honestly looks about 9. I'm not exaggerating. She says she's 20. I'm still a bit suspicious about that. She's like, oh, I'm going to do my best accent here. She's a northerner, obviously. Oh, I'm so heartbroken. I've got so much to tell you, ducky. Like, right, girl. My house is just there. Come have a cup of tea. We don't even get halfway across the road. As we're crossing, she's like, I lost my baby because of him. And before I had his baby, I didn't even know he'd raped his sister. Excuse me? He did what? Right. Listen, hold that thought. We'll circle back around in a minute. Is oat milk all right in your cup of tea, yeah? She comes in, bless her, she reeks of alcohol. You know when someone's been caning it and it's like just being around them, it's like there's fumes coming off this girl. She's been drinking a lot. She is wrecked. And she keeps on like repeating herself, like she is absolutely blotto, mate. So yeah, guys, turns out the people opposite are a little bit strange, all right? So she doesn't live there. She lives in another town about an hour and a half out of here with her boyfriend. And it's her boyfriend's parents that live across the road from me. My walls are so thin. You got to speak quietly around here. So they've come to visit his parents for the week and they've just got absolutely blotto. And an argument has erupted and she's tried to leave and he has slammed her hand in the door. And so she's like ran out and she tried to get to the hospital, but she couldn't find her way. So she found her way back to this house. And then she was trying to get back in and get her phone and her wallet and he's refused to give them to her. So now she is stranded in Blackpool and now she's in my fucking living room. Oh yeah, and halfway through the argument, for some reason, the mother-in-law's had an epileptic fit. She just like drops that into conversation. She's like, oh, and obviously I'm on the floor helping his mum after she's had a fit. And he starts going off and I'm like, obvious. Why would that be obvious to me? Now I've called the police. They're on their way. They say they're going to be up to an hour. I'm thinking, fucking hell, do I put an episode of Gogglebox on? Like, this is conversation. It's going to be hard to pull conversation out my arse for a full hour. I'm hoping to God they haven't seen her walk into my house because I cannot be asked with any drama right now with my neighbours. She's asking me if I could go and knock on the door and get her stuff back. And I'm like, absolutely fucking not, babe. I am a girl's girl through and through. I want to take this man down because he has clearly ruined your Bayab Manny by slamming your hand in the door. And that is violence against women. And I am anti-violence against women, all right? But under no circumstances am I going to be risking my own manicure, all right? I'm on a Bayab journey, as you guys can probably tell. My nails are looking fresh. And under no circumstances will I be risking these fresh puppies for you. Now, it's weird because I've always had nice interactions with this family, it just shows that you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. Right? I've not had like a big interaction with them. It's always little like, yeah, you're right. I put on my northern accent whenever I speak to them. I don't know this for a fact, but I can just imagine they are the kind of people that just think those fucking southerners. So yeah, I put on my northern accent. Yeah, you're right. How's the weather over your side of the road? Good. Oh, lovely. Just, casual interactions like that. I think I've collected maybe a parcel from them or something. It's always been nice, but you just never know what is going on in other people's homes, do you? One thing about me, guys, I love a bit of drama. I love a little bit of drama. I love other people's drama, Most people might be having that interaction and thinking, fucking hell, what have I done moving to this area? Am I safe? Am I safe with these people living across the road? Me, I'm thinking, brilliant. Let's fucking go. This is class. But Miranda, this is people's lives we're talking about. How can you be so nonchalant about these people's lives? Isn't it sad? Yeah, you're right. It is people's lives. It's not my life. So I get to enjoy it from a safe distance. I've become a curtain twitcher now. I'm looking through my blinds like, oh, he's back. He's back. Zach, he's back. He's watching. Oh, bloody yeah, he's drinking another beer. It's only 11 a.m. He was locked out the house the other day. I was looking through the blinds like, oh, there he is. Forgotten his keys. Silly bugger. Honestly, being a nosy neighbour is a full-time job, I tell ya. It's fun though, living in a small town, it's like you can do stuff like this. Because in London, it's like you don't want to see your neighbours at any cost. Like you will just avoid your neighbours. You'll avoid their beeswax. You will just do whatever you can to ignore the fact that you have neighbours. But when you're in a neighbourhood, like a small town neighbourhood, you can become a curtain twitcher. Honestly, my fingers are achy. This finger's gets so strong from pulling down those blinds. It's me, literally, all day. I am loving it. I'm in my element. But now I've divulged, the locals' drama. Let's get into your drama, shall we? I've fallen in love with my best mate's partner and I don't know what to do. We are mum friends from NCT, and out of the whole group, me and her just clicked instantly. So we stayed really close. We mostly hang out at her house because she's got the nicer house out of the two of us, and her husband works from home. So when I do hang out there, he's always around. Our circumstances are very different. My husband works away for weeks at a time. Oh, babes, well done you. And when he is here, he's too knackered to do anything and isn't very house trained. So sometimes I actually prefer it when he's not here. When I go round to her house, her partner is making us cups of tea. He's very active with the children. He plays with the child all the time and is always making us laugh. He's also extremely fit and has great teeth. Uh-oh, triple threat. Nice dad, nice house, good teeth. No wonder you fall in love. I think about him all the time. I even had sex dreams about him. On the rare occasions I actually have sex with my husband, and I'm talking rare, I'm thinking of him. Uh-oh, I feel awful towards my friend because it's become the main reason I even want to go to her house in the first place. When I find myself in the kitchen with him, I defo get a vibe, but maybe he's just being friendly. Baby girl, don't even tempt it. Don't even play with it right now. I'm thinking don't know if I get a vibe, but maybe, no, nip that shit in the bud right now. Good mum friends are hard to come by, okay? And it sounds like you got a good one. So do not go fucking it up by fucking a husband. No judgment whatsoever, babes. We all have crushes. We all accidentally fall in love with people all the time. Well, not fall in love, but I have crushes all the time, all right? So it's totally, especially with your circumstances, zero judgment. But we cannot go risking the girly girls for the penis. The peen is never worth it, all right? Always choose the girlies over the peen. Listen, you're not alone, all right? You're not the first person to develop a crush on your mate's partner, all right? I know all Zach's friends fancy me, want to fuck me. It happens to the best of us. Especially the person who has great teeth. This is just a classic, case of the grass is greener syndrome, right? You got it bad, baby girl. We need to get you some antibiotics. And, we don't blame you. Your husband is away a lot. He's useless around the house. This guy, he's got nice teeth. He's got a nice house. He's an active dad. He's there all the time. Just because we fancy him doesn't mean we actually want him. Isn't it more like what this man actually represents that you want? Not necessarily him. He's giving you what you want right now. He's giving you the humor, the active dad, like all this stuff that you're missing. But remember, whenever you are at someone's house, you are not seeing the true version of them. You're seeing the polished version of them. Even your mate, like when my friends come round to my house, they're not getting the actual true experience because I'm cleaning up before they get here. Say if me and Zach have just had a little tiff, he's going to come down, he's going to be really, really nice and funny and sweet, just like he always is. They're not going to understand like the different levels to our personality. So just remember that whenever you fall in love with someone that you don't know their true self, you are falling in love with a version of them that they are choosing to show you rather than their true self. You don't see him sat on the sofa with in his pants, scratching his ass. Whenever you fall in love with someone that you shouldn't have, just imagine them just, sat in the evening with their big belly out, they've got crumbs down their top, they got holes in their pants, they got stinky morning breath. Like, just imagine them in that state. They're not so perfect anymore. Maybe what we could do, instead of, finding reasons to hang out with your mate and get the occasional kitchen time with Mr. Nice Teeth, how about we focus on making your space like a nicer environment that you actually want to be in and you want to bring your friend round to? Maybe getting a bit creative around your house with your partner when he's around will give you like a fresh spark. Something like fun to work towards and collaborate with each other. Maybe giving your husband like a few DIY jobs around the house could be quite motivating for him to like get his ass off the sofa and get him up and like being proactive around the house. There is nothing more attractive than a man that loves a bit of DIY. Tell me I'm wrong. When your man is like drilling like holes in walls and like polyfilling old holes and like just putting shelves up, it's like, phew, fit. At the end of the day, it's a crush. It will pass. So don't judge yourself too much, but we do need to just let it fizzle out. So I think for the next few months, just try and invite her out to other places. I know it's hard. Like, it's much easier to just meet our friend in their house, chill there all day, have cups of tea, whatever. But while you've got this quite intense crush on her husband, I think let's take this friendship outside the home and meet elsewhere, either at your house or at a park or a soft play or something like that, just so we're not, constantly thinking about Fitty upstairs. But hey, if, an eyeful of a hot man is what you're after, then we're coming into the new year. Get yourself a good calendar, maybe one with like firemen on. They're well fit and very house trained. And you can look without ruining 2 marriages and a friendship. Or get yourself some tickets to Magic Mike. They're well fit, they have nice teeth and probably massive willies. This mummy says, my 7-year-old has been going through this phase where he doesn't want to say hi, bye, or say anything to strangers. I understand the stranger bit, but he's also been refusing to say bye to my husband's parents, and my husband won't have it. My son totally shuts down, and my husband gets angry, grabs him by the arm, and won't let him do anything until he says bye, which in all makes it worse, as you would imagine. What do I do to make him feel more comfortable? Now, I don't know 7-year-olds, so I don't know how abnormal this behavior is, but I know that my child does this, and every child that I know does this when they are, when they've got to say bye to someone after having a really nice time with them. They kind of shut down, and it's because they're sad, they're processing. Maybe he feels sad for leaving and he doesn't know how to express it. And if I were you guys, I would just let him be and know that just like everything that kids go through, it is a phase and it will pass. I feel like one of the reasons that people do this, they treat kids like this when these kind of behaviors come out, is because when your child acts up in any capacity in public, parents find it embarrassing, don't they? When your child hasn't said please or thank you or goodbye or whatever, it's like we're not teaching them good manners. And so we want to make an example of that child. You want people to know that, hey, I'm raising a good person and I'm teaching my child manners. So my child knows to say please, thank you, goodbye, hello. They just know all the rules. And we don't mind if we actually totally demean the child in the process of doing that, because we think that's how they learn. I think your husband's probably just repeating old habits from his childhood, things that his parents did to him, and he hasn't really unlearned them yet. I mean, you already know, it's just a phase, and he just needs to remember that. I think it's not necessarily about how can we change this child to suit the situation. It's more just accepting the child as they are and just letting them be, and then just knowing that in a few months they won't do this and they'll just be a totally different child, We need to remember that these children are not small adults. We like to think that they are, but they aren't. They are children that are less emotionally intelligent. They have less communication skills than adults do. So they are still learning how to communicate how they feel. And I don't know if this is the case, but say if it has happened in the past where your son has got upset over something and, a classic old school dad, he's told your child, hey, you don't need to be upset about that, or stop crying, you don't need to cry, it's okay, blah, 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 then maybe your son doesn't know how to process when he's sad. And so he just shuts down. And now because your child's had that experience with your husband, and then when your child gets upset around him, maybe he doesn't know how to process his emotions properly and he just shuts down, and it seems rude, but it's actually not. He's just processing. If it was my kid, and this is what I do with my child, right? So again, it might be super different when he's 7, I don't know, but this is how I'm handling it now when I'm in this situation, because Woody does exactly the same thing. We're saying bye, thank you, blah, 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 thanks for having us. Woody, do you want to say bye? And Woody every time turns his head and he says no. And he just buries his head. And instead of saying, Woody, you are going to say bye right now because otherwise that's rude, instead, I just turn to the adult and I say, oh, he's just processing. He just feels a bit sad because he's had such a nice time. Bye. And I just say bye for him. That's fine. And these adults should be emotionally intelligent enough to know, okay, this child's not being rude. He's processing. And it's like anything. If you're talking about his feelings during a tantrum, he's in fight or flight. He's not going to be able to reason properly with you, right? So instead of talking about it in the moment when it's happened, later that evening, you can talk to him when he's calm and you're having a nice interaction, then you can address it properly with him and say, hey, when we're leaving, you don't say bye. Why is that? Do you feel sad or do you feel shy? What is the reason that you don't want to say bye to people? And maybe then he's going to be able to say, yeah, actually, he's had time to process it. He's like, oh yeah, leaving, I just was having a really nice time and I felt sad for going. Say when it's an older child, you can have more of a a conversation about how their behavior is being perceived by other people. I probably wouldn't do this with Woody because I just think he's too young and he shouldn't have to worry about how other people perceive him just yet. But as your children get older, I think it's good to have those conversations and say, well, listen, I know you're not being rude and you know you're not being rude, but other people, they might perceive you as being rude. And so in those moments, that's why it's important to try to say goodbye and thank you and all the rest of it. So then you're not being perceived as rude. But having said that, like, I also think it's not necessarily the children's responsibility to appease the people around them. So it's difficult. I guess you just judge like how like emotionally mature your kid is and you make the call, but that's how I would handle it anyway. I mean, this is like a side note, it's not really about this dilemma, but when I was learning to be happy after I had my breakdown, okay, and I was going on this journey to like, you know, sort my mental health out, and I was reading a lot of books about happiness and whatever. So probably one of the best tips I learned about happiness and having a good day is if you want to have a good day, it is down to you to interpret the world in a way that serves us best. How many times do we, you know, we're in a stinking mood and we go out into town, we go to work and we have all these horrendous interactions with people, and then our bad mood like compounds and our day just gets worse. Whereas when you're in a good mood and you're in a good way and you have the capacity to perceive people well or give people the benefit of the doubt, we just have a better day. So that really stuck with me when I was learning to be happy, because I do think it is a muscle that you do need to work. If you are sort of in that cycle of being in like the downward spirals and being in a bit of a depressive state, actually changing your perception of the world is a really important tool to have. I also got better at giving people the benefit of the doubt. So say if someone is rude, I actually tune in and say, hey, that person might not be having a very good day. I'm going to let that person be rude and I'm not going to let it affect my mental state just because they are having a bad day. They're having a bad day, that stops at them. That doesn't encroach on my day and my mood. So yeah, those are like the tools that actually really changed my mindset and like sort of enabled me to just be a happier, kinder, more empathetic person when I was out and about on those streets of London town. Because let me tell you, if you're walking around London, you got to be empathetic because you're going to come across some rude, miserable people. And sometimes you just got to spread that joy, baby. Oh, guys, we're going to get straight into the Christmas drama. Are you ready? I am so ready for it. Please, guys, if you have any Christmas drama, send them my way. I want to get festive as hell in the lead up to Christmas. So I want to know all your Christmas drama. Right. Having said that, let's get into it. We spend Christmas Eve every year with my husband's family. This year, I decided to hell with it. I'm inviting my family here. There will be about 4 of us and they'll be flying in from another country. So I'll be inviting them for a whole week and I want them to come along to everything we do. I want to celebrate with my traditions and my family. So I broke it to the in-laws and things got immediately messy. She said, oh, but your traditions are on the 25th, right? And I said, yes. So we'll be spending the 24th with you guys. I thought that'd be the best compromise. Cue slightly angry, disappointed, confused mother-in-law. Well, I'm not sure we have space. This being the woman that usually says, the more the merrier, we'll work it out. I'm not sure we have space. It really upset me. I turned to my husband and explained I was disappointed with her reaction. And he said, well, wouldn't you be irritated if someone else came along and crashed your plans? I just felt like telling them all to fuck off. You've not invited your whole family. Get over it, Sally. It's not like I'm fucking treating like my wedding. My second cousins and their partners and their children. My 3 aunties are flying over from Gibraltar. My schoolmates that I've not spoken to in 3 years are coming for the after party. Like it's literally my parents and my sibling. Get over it. First off, I love the fact that you are standing your ground and bringing your own traditions into this family Christmas, because I feel like for too long, they've obviously got way too comfortable with you, just like going along with the ride for their Christmas. And they've actually forgotten that before this, like you were a person with your own family and your own traditions. And like you do sometimes want to do that as well. Like I am a person as well, guys. I bet she'll have room for your family once she realizes that, they're bringing gifts. Maybe that's what you say. Maybe next time you see her, you just drop into conversation how much your family just love gift giving. They are so generous. You know what? Gift giving is my family's love language. I know her ears will prick up. Oh, gift giving, is it? Gift giving. Which family members are coming round, did you say? Your mum? Oh, she like gift giving, does she? you know, we all know she has space. It's not that she doesn't have space. You've been to her house, you've assessed the situation before you've invited anyone around. You know, I know the size of your living room, all right, Karen? I know the size of your dining. I know you got those extra chairs in the shed. Get them out. You know, you're not storming in with a marching band. You're just trying to add a little bit of Christmas cheer, a la you know? And I think that's fair enough. As for your partner's reaction, he's missed the memo, hasn't he? Whenever it comes to an argument with your partner's mum, it's not about a balanced argument, all right? We don't need to hear from both sides. It's not about taking sides, although it is. It's about taking my side. Guys, I've just looked at the camera battery and I'm on 1 bar and we haven't done the question of the week yet. So we're going to jump straight into it, all right? So over on the Nappy Hour Pod Instagram, I asked you guys, what was the most annoying thing people said to you after you've given birth or when you were pregnant? Let's get into your responses, shall we? Ooh, I can already feel my blood boiling because I had these said to me as well. Oh, okay. So just around your due date, people saying, still no baby yet then? Hun, okay, listen. When I've given birth, I will tell you, all right? Don't text me every day. Any luck yet? Any luck? No one told me how good it would be. I always got, just you wait until insert negative comment about kids. Yes. Oh, just you wait until me. Get that all the time. Someone asked me when I was due, hours after having my son, it was a male staff on the mat ward. Babe, can you not see my child literally in that plastic crib next to me? Can you not see that, darling? Someone told me I couldn't be upset about the gender. Gaslighting, bollocks. So gender disappointment is not something that is spoken about enough. It is real, it is valid. And sorry, but anyone that says they don't have a preference, you're lying. And that's fine. That's fine. You can lie to everyone and yourself, but we all know you have a preference, all right? The next one will just slide out by a midwife immediately after a traumatic forceps birth. Facts, to be fair. My fanny is pure baggy. If this next baby doesn't slide out, I want my money back. This girl says, I got told to stop running because I'll kill the baby. Oh, because I work in fitness, I get asked a lot whether it's safe to run while pregnant. And you don't really understand the judgment that running pregnant women get. You guys get so much judgment. It's hilarious. People do not think it's safe at all. Listen, me, I'm not a runner. If I was to get pregnant and start running, sure, that would be silly. But if you are a seasoned, conditioned runner, just keep treading those miles, baby girl. Sleep when the baby sleeps. Classic. This girl says, enjoy your pregnancy, you're so blessed. This is a magical time. Not for everyone. It's not a magical time for everyone. Hey, listen, this pregnant girl knows that she's blessed. She doesn't need you to remind her. If she is having a shit pregnancy, thrown up 20 times a day, she's not having a magical time. Did you have your baby naturally after an emergency C-section? It's vaginal, not natural. No, I had my baby totally unnaturally. Thank you. When are you going to stop breastfeeding? I got that all the time. The moment my son turned 1, it was all people asked me, like, how long are you going to breastfeed for? Until I fucking want to. Fuck off. Oh, there's a lot of people remarking on like our weight. So like, oh my God, you bounced back so well. Like, where's the baby weight gone? God, you look so skinny. You don't even look like you've had a baby. Completely random old man in a park being pushed around in a wheelchair. Original conversation was generic. That's a cute baby. How old? Etc. Then he got the lady pushing him to follow us. 10 minutes later, he said, I just want to come back and tell you, well done for getting your lovely figure back so quickly. Why is it after you've had a baby, people just think that they have the right to comment on your body? Like, just don't look at my body. Don't comment on it. Just fuck off. Oh, when's the next one? When's baby number 2? When you think about the next one? I've literally just got back from hospital. I'm not thinking about the next one, babe. Is she sleeping through the night yet? No, she's 10 days old. Of course she's not sleeping through the night. When I say I'm not sleeping very well because of pregnancy insomnia, a manager turns around and says condescendingly, well, it's not going to get any better. Yes, I fucking know that, you dickhead. Fuck off. Well, it's not going to get any better. Yeah, thank you very much, Janet. I know. I'm hallucinating right now. That is not what I need to hear. Also, that's not true. Sorry, but it might get better. After you give birth, like, you're not going to have the pregnancy insomnia anymore and you might have a good sleeper. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. I had a C-section, genuinely had someone say, well, if you had actually birthed your child, excuse me? Well, if I'd have actually birthed my child and not had a C-section, I could have fucking died because I had an emergency C-section and my baby was stuck in the birth canal. So yeah, I would be dead, babe. Oh, you're very big. Yes, I'm 9 months pregnant, babe. I'm going to be big. Oh, this one would get me every time because I would get this a lot because I would openly speak about my traumatic birth. I would get people saying, well, the most important thing is baby's healthy. Yeah, sure. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me and my mental health. Is she a good baby? Babies cannot be bad. Babies are just babies. Larger people asking me why I'm so skinny still when I'm spending every day chucking up. Why are you so skinny still? Where's your bump? People commenting on your baby weight, still carrying your baby weight, not lost your baby weight yet. Oh my goodness, what gives you the right? Yeah, and what's your excuse, babe? I've had a baby. What is your excuse? You're just sat on your ass, eating fucking celebrations and drinking beer. Lots of judgment about exercise. Stop exercise, you're doing too much, you're going to damage the baby. I had that as well when I was boxing. When I was pregnant, I would get a lot of judgment for boxing. You're going to rupture your uterus. Is that safe? The baby's going to be doing some somersaults inside of your body, as if there's space for that baby to be doing somersaults. Like, are you stupid? That was from a doctor as well. That is worrying. A now not so close friend comparing births, claiming she had it harder. Her friend had it harder than me too. It's not a competition and I'm not partaking. Meanwhile, I was still recovering down there 5 months later. Oh, baby girl. Anyway, basically, lots of annoying people saying lots of annoying things. On that note, guys, we're going to leave it there. I'm about to lose my voice. If you have not rated or reviewed this podcast, I am this close to 200 reviews at 5 stars. So go and do me a massive favor and get me to 200 reviews, please. As always, make sure you are sending in your dilemmas over on Instagram. Let's have a little chat over there. And I will see you guys next week. I love you very much. Mwah!